Hello and welcome to a new episode of Ghoulish. I am Max Booth, a host, and today in the program I am talking to the Magnificent Mangum, who is absolutely, definitely not Lucas Mangum. That's somebody else. This is the Magnificent Mangum, and today on the show, I don't know, I guess he's doing like palm readings or some shit. He's some fucking psychic. He does things. I don't know. He might be a fraud, if I'm being honest. I haven't decided yet. Let this episode help you decide if the Magnificent Mangum is indeed magnificent and not Lucas Mangum. He actually just might be Lucas Mangum. I don't know. He's never shown me identification. Holy shit, is this the longest intro I've ever done? What in the good God hell, what is going on? You know what? While I have you, why don't I do a little promo too? My new novel, Touch the Night, is now available to pre-order over at cemeterydance.com. It's limited to 750 signed hardcover copies. Go to cemeterydance.com. Touch the Night by Max Booth. I. But now, the Magnificent Mangum. Today on the program, we have a special guest, a man who can tell the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Magnificent Mangum.
Hello, Mr. Books. It's good to be here.
Now, the Magnificent Mangum, I have met you twice now. I originally met you when I was doing an event in Austin, Texas called Something Indecent. I was, basically is a variety show that I host once a month, and as I was doing this, you randomly came up on stage and began telling everybody's future. You began, doing palm readings or some shit on stage?
Yes, the terrible tarot readings. You see, I take the Reader Wyatt tarot deck, and I, have audience members pick a card, any card. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to pick a card.
Okay.
No audience,
wow, this is unexpected. Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm drawing a card that has a man by a tree with 3 gold cups in front of him and another cup being handed to him out of a golden cloud. And he's sitting crisscross applesauce, which is important. And I think this is telling me that I need to maybe have another drink.
Oh, well, that's nice. I mean, do you have anything to drink now?
Right now, it is something that the less magnificent refer to as coffee, and I don't know, it's pretty good, I gotta say.
Wow, did you invent this?
Well, not I. No. It is a long magical recipe or I'm sorry, a magical recipe with a long history that I would explain to you, but it's a little too complicated for the
Oh,
less magnificent to understand.
do
If
you
you catch
do you know what else has a long history?
the shore.
Racism.
Oh, oh yes, yes, it does. It's a sad thing, isn't it? I mean,
So
you
how
know.
did you get involved in the all this business? What's going on? How did this happen?
Well, you see, when I was a little boy, I liked to sit in my backyard in the grass, um, and I would stare up at the sky. And once I saw a green shooting star, and it fucking landed like right on me,
Oh my
like,
god.
and it sucked, like it really hurt. But then all of a sudden, like I could tell like weird things. Like I was like, I'd go to school and I'd be like, my teacher he's like a fucking pervert, man. Like, I
Oh
mean,
my god. Now how could you tell this? Just by looking at them? Did you have to touch
yeah,
them?
yeah. I mean, I could just like look at him and I'd get these like kind of, uh, these flashes like in that Christopher Walken movie, with I think it's called the Zone of Death or something.
I think you might be thinking of a movie called The Suicide Kings, actually.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Or maybe no, no. Maybe it was King of New York.
Oh, maybe that sounds familiar.
Yes.
So now, what did you do with these abilities? I mean, did you use them for good? Well, did you maybe take advantage of them somehow? Walk me
Well,
through this.
so when I was still in elementary school, I wanted to help people. I would say, hey, um these don't play on those monkey bars today because it rained last night and they might be a little slippery. And I would warn my kids and I'd try to be good. But then like I hit puberty and I started um, you know doing some unruly things
Uh oh.
with my psychic abilities.
Uh oh.
I'd I'd tell somebody to pick a card, and I'd tell them that it means that they gotta be at a certain place at a certain time, and then I just wouldn't show up.
Oh, that's wow. That's rude. You have a bit of an attitude, huh? You kind
A
of
little bit,
a
a
little
little
bit
bit,
of a prankster streak going on. Now, how did you get involved with these? What did you call them? These tarot cards?
Yes, I met Mr. Reader Waite. I'm sorry, Reader Wyatt once, and he said, "Here you go, kid." And I was like, "Oh, okay. What are they?" And he said, "They are tarot cards, and I know you can read them better than others because you got hit by a green meteor just like me."
Did he explain like what this was that hit you guys? Does he know the info about it?
You know, the origins of the meteor are again just they're just very complicated, like your racism.
You don't even want to try to explain it, maybe? I mean, I'm sure the audience would love to know a little bit about this. I mean, did it come from space, I assume?
Oh yes, of course, space. They come from space, and uh, they, it's sad because that jerk L. Ron Hubbard tried to appropriate our treasured history and talk about weird things like thetans, and it's kind of morphed into this awful thing that's ruining Hollywood. But I digress.
So you're
Um,
saying you're not a fan of Scientology?
no fan. No,
Oh,
no.
that's interesting. I had you completely wrong.
Yes,
So,
yes.
what what religion would you subscribe to?
Magnificism,
Ooh,
obviously.
please elaborate.
Well, so we all get a piece of this glowing green rock, from the first meteor that landed here and
You saved
gave
it?
us, yeah, 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 and they pass it out, and whenever you're feeling down, you just hold the rock, and everything will be okay.
I mean, that sounds pretty similar to Dwayne the Rock Johnson's religion.
That's fair. That's fair. Dwayne is a good friend of mine.
Oh,
Yes, yes, yes. I uh, I wish he made better movies, though.
what are you talking about? His movies look great. Did you not see the Suicide Kings?
Oh, yeah, he was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was one of the Suicide Kings.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. He was King Rock Suicide, right?
Now, could you tell Dwayne the Rock Johnson's future? Could you give him a reading right now in case he might be listening to the podcast?
Oh, of course, of course.
Okay, cool.
So, let's see, Dwayne. I'm picturing you back in the '90s with that awesome hair and that fanny pack, and
Those
all
were the
those.
days.
Those were the days. And you were still wrestling. Uh, and I knew then that one day you were going to be, very special and powerful. And I think next year he is going to have a book that he's going to submit to you at
Me?
Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing,
Oh my god.
and it's gonna do gangbusters, and everyone's gonna be happy, and the small press, will heal itself, and and everything will be wonderful.
What else can you tell me about this book? Is it fiction, nonfiction? What's it called? What's it about? Oh my god, this is exciting.
So it's fictionalized nonfiction about
Ooh.
his time as a young man trying to find himself when he went to one of those Eyes Wide Shut Illuminati parties, and it didn't go very well for him because they don't like wrestlers.
Wow. Now, if I recall correctly from a Wikipedia article I read about The Rock, that party he went to is actually how he lost his sense of smell.
Yes, yes, and that's why he's always asking,
Yeah.
do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Because I can't. I have no sense of smell. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
his classic line. Oh my.
Yeah, and they told him to take that last part out because it kind of complicated things and wasn't much of a catchphrase.
It screwed up the rhythm, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
But if you watch some of those old episodes, he does say the whole thing. He goes, "Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? Because I can't, since I lost my sense of smell at that Eyes Wide Shut party." And yeah, so
Yes,
I mean,
it hasn't aged well,
no, most people nowadays would go, "What's Eyes Wide Shut?"
That's true.
Which is a sad reality we live in. If Stanley Kubrick was still alive, could you give him a reading as well?
Yes, you see, I would tell him to make his movies maybe a little harder to understand, because the reason the Illuminati never went after David Lynch is because they're too dumb to understand his movies. But Stanley Kubrick's were a little too on the nose.
Now, I don't know the extent of your strange space supernatural abilities. Can you communicate with the dead?
Occasionally, if I feel so inclined, or if I'm on the right podcast, hint hint.
Do you think this is the right podcast?
Well, you're a good man, and your last name is Books, and
That's true.
I like that about you. And yes, I think this is the time and the place. Is there a dead person you have in mind?
Well, thinking about Stanley Kubrick, it's gotten me, I don't know, a little bit sad about my childhood. So I was wondering, do you think maybe we could communicate with my Uncle Tom?
Okay. Let's see. Uncle Tom, are you there? Are you there? Yeah, see, you have to say it in that voice, otherwise they can't hear you.
We both have to say it?
Yes.
Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom. How you feel?
Hello, Max. It's Uncle Tom. How are you?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Uncle Tom, is that you?
Yes, I'm talking through the mouth of the Magnificent Mangum.
Well, this is super odd because I actually don't have an Uncle Tom. So who the fuck are you?
Oh shit.
What was that, huh? Who did we just talk to?
I don't know. Maybe it was some kind of possession thing.
Oh my god, you feeling okay? What did you just experience when this ghastly ghoul spoke through your body?
I honestly feel a little invaded, my personal space, you know.
Oh my god, so it wasn't pleasurable for you at all.
No, it was like getting a hug from a predator, not like not like a human predator, but like a predator like from the movies.
I've never seen those movies. The language is too inappropriate. Yeah.
Yes, I understand that. But don't you have that $4,000 predator costume at your home, or is that somebody else?
I don't know what you're talking about. Is Uncle Tom still channeling through you, perhaps?
Perhaps. Maybe he's the one with the predator costume.
Yikes! That's a waste of money, Uncle Tom. Whoever the hell you might be. Hopefully, he doesn't leave any lasting damage. Has this happened to you in the past? Have you ever channeled a ghost inside of you?
Being magnificent, it does have some side effects, like with any religion or special ability. You've got to take the good with the bad.
Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. Now, we were talking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and it seems he might be a bit of a wrestling fan, which is kind of interesting because last week on the show I had a Lucas Mangum, who I'm now realizing shares a name with you, since you are, in fact, the Magnificent Mangum. And now Lucas, he loved wrestling quite a bit. We talked about it. He wouldn't stop talking about it. It was kind of embarrassing. So now, I just have to ask, do you know who this guy is, by any chance?
Well, I've got a few things to say about Lucas. First of all, he came down with another case of diphtheria. I think it might be something chronic.
Oh, my.
And that's sad. And then about the wrestling thing, I was indeed the brother that beat him for the championship.
You guys are related? Holy shit.
Yes, we are related. And then last but not least, I'm sorry to say this, but he did lie to you when he said that he knows more about wrestling than anybody else in the genre, because I'm pretty sure Nick Mamatas holds that title.
Yikes. That's a bold claim. Now, in case Nick is listening, which, obviously he is, do you think you can maybe give him a bit of a reading?
Oh, like a psychic reading?
Yeah, psychic reading.
Oh, wait. All right. You know what? I'm going to pull a card for Nick.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. Nick, who is not really here. I'm going to pick a card, any card for you. Okay. So I see a man on a throne with a crown and a yellow and red cape. No, I'm sorry. A yellow cape with red sashes.
Okay.
He's holding a scepter in one hand.
Yeah.
And a cup in the other.
Is the cup is it empty, the cup?
The cup looks empty,
okay.
But the throne is floating on a wavy ocean.
Uh-oh.
And there's a boat in the background. On the bottom it says the Kinji of Coops. And
what the fuck does that mean?
I don't know. This is very strange. I feel completely lost here.
Well, maybe I can help out, because one thing I do know about Nick Mamatas is he is terrified of boats.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So, Nick, don't let any boats into your living room.
That's
there's
that's good advice. That's good advice.
Yeah, yes. They sometimes try to do that.
Yeah, I've woken up many nights to find a boat in my living room, and I'm like, God damn it, boat, get out of my living room.
It's crazy. Like, what gives them the right?
Yeah, I have plenty right to just stand my ground. So usually I just shoot those boats in the face without asking any questions at all, and it's completely in my rights.
No, I get that. I get that. I think sometimes you can convince boats to actually shoot themselves, as documented in the South Park episode with Russell Crowe. He keeps singing, and his boat Tugger doesn't like the way he's singing, and so Tugger shoots himself.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And sometimes, just to be on the safe side, I do plant a baggie of marijuana on these boats. Obviously, since these boats smoke dope, they deserve to die.
Right. The dope boats.
Those,
do not suffer a dope boat to live. I think that's in the Bible.
I'm looking at it right now, and I see the quote, and you will correct.
I thought so.
But it's also odd because I do not remember this, but the quote is credited to a Magnificent Mangum. Is this what's going on with this? What the fuck is happening?
So yes, I was hired by Jehovah to write the Bible a long time ago, and the motherfucker just never sent me royalty statements, and he owes me a lot of money.
Wait a minute.
A lot of money.
Did Cheesy Press release this edition?
I think so. I think that was when God was their managing editor.
Well, that explains a lot. So tell me, the Magnificent Mangum, what have you been reading lately?
Yes, that is a good question. A lot of palms. I tried reading Wrath's palm at KillerCon this past August, but he says he doesn't believe in that silly shit and threatened to punch me in that Get Punched by Wrath panel if I didn't stop touching his hand.
Shit, have you seen the size of his hand? It would be like really Moby Dick, man.
You're right. And I think you might be onto something, because I thought I saw tattooed between his thumb and forefinger, "Call me Ishmael."
That's odd.
Yes. Isn't that strange?
It is unlikely. I don't believe it.
Well, yeah, it's also in the Bible.
Have you ever tried doing dick readings?
I have considered it, but I hear that there's a danger. I've heard that if dicks dabble in the occult, they can become evil dicks.
Oh yeah?
This is true. What's her name in that exorcism movie where, she plays with the Ouija board. And I guess what I'm saying is that Linda Blair was originally a dick, but they thought that wouldn't sell, so they replaced the dick with a little girl.
I don't think that's true. How can folks find you online, the Magnificent Mangum? I assume you have unique social media handles.
Oh, well, I don't know about all that. I kind of just hijack my brothers every once in a while, and he lets me, or he says he lets me, even though he keeps changing his password. It's very strange. So at Real Lucas Mangum, you will occasionally see tweets from me, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah. He doesn't let me hijack his blog or his Patreon, though. That's very
what is his
unprivate.
Patreon anyway? Just to be kind.
Yes. It's let's see. It's patreon.com/lmangumfiction, and yeah, maybe now that I plugged him, he'll let me hijack that as well.
Yeah, I hope so, Lucas. If you're listening, don't be a dick.
And thoughts and prayers on the diphtheria.
Yeah, definitely. I hope he's alive right now.
Yes.
So before we end this episode, I was hoping you could maybe give the listener a psychic readings, the one who is listening to this podcast right now, you, the listener,
if you can maybe give him, well, maybe he'll. I mean, I'm not judging. Whoever's listening, if you could give them a psychic reading to end the episode with.
All right, listener. I have drawn a card. It has a sky with white and gray clouds and an ocean. There is a man holding 2 swords in one hand and 1 sword in another. There are 2 swords on the ground and 2 other men who are walking around near the ocean. Play more keyboard if you're listening. Play more keyboard.
That's it.
That's it. You're very talented on the keyboard. I've heard you play many times, and I want to hear more.
Okay, well, you hold the Magnificent Mangum. Go do that. Thank you for coming on the episode. I don't know what this was, but it was something, all right, and maybe we'll have to have you come on again.
That'd be wonderful.
All
or
right.
magnificent.
It would be magnificent. See you later, man.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to a new episode of Ghoulish with me, Max Booth, a host. If you liked today's episode, hey, why not go leave a review on iTunes? Spread the good word, baby. Also, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/PMM Publishing. And also, hey, maybe go pre-order my new novel, Touch the Night. Available now at cemeterydance.com. Limited to 750 signed hardcover copies. You know you want to do that, right? Right? Hell yeah, you do. But also, no matter what,